Welcome to Rose Prairie Farm. My name is Kathleen, and this is my new YouTube channel that I'm creating to go along with my blog. I have a blog that's called Rose Prairie Quilts and Farm. I'll leave a link down below if you're interested to see what this channel will evolve to. I am 62 years old, married, have 3 grown children, and 2 grandsons. We live here in the northeastern part of Oklahoma on a little over 100 acres where my husband raises cattle and I enjoy gardening, mainly vegetable gardening. Anything else I plant, it seems like I'm just feeding the deer. And I have chickens. Well, I have 1 chicken right now. I lost most of my chickens a few months ago, so I'm down to 1. But I plan on replenishing my chickens. I enjoy cooking. I also have passion for anything that has to do with fiber and textiles. My first passion I started when I was 8 years old. I had an aunt that taught me how to knit. So do your math, that was over 50 years ago. And that passion never stopped. It just evolved and continued on. I also enjoy quilting. As you can notice in the background, there's quilting going on back there. Hence the name to my blog, Rose Prairie Quilts and Farm. When I started my blog 9 years ago, that was one of the main focuses I had was on quilting besides the farm. I enjoy sewing. I used to sew for my girls when they were young. So I did a lot of clothing sewing before I actually started quilting. I do a little sewing still for myself, but a lot of times the sewing that I do is for the house or project bags or things of that sort. I also embroider. My mom used to embroider when I was young, and so I picked it up from her. I also do cross stitching. Now, she didn't do that, but I learned that later on also, along with crocheting. I don't crochet garments per se. My crocheting is mainly blankets, shawls, things of that sort. My later passions have become weaving. I have 2 looms. I have the Cricut here. And I also have a Ashford, again, rigid heddle loom. That's a 32-inch. Right now, I have a project on my Cricut that's an experiment that I'll get to in a minute and show you. This is one of my works in progress. I'm also learning how to spin. I had bought a spinning wheel, probably 20 years ago. I enjoy learning back then, but for some reason it just got put to the side, and I decided now I was going to become better at it, learn learn how to spin many types of fibers. I'm also wanting to learn how to dye fabrics and yarn using plant materials, natural dyes. Again, I hope in future vlogs I'll be able to share that with you also. I've only attempted it once, but I have the stuff to do more, and that is my goal, is to get that done. So I'll take you along with me, and you can learn with me, I suppose. So those are my loves and my passions. My other learning, which I hope will become a passion, is making videos. The reason I'm doing this, I mean, like I said, I have a blog. I enjoyed blogging. When my stepmother developed cancer 3 years ago, it kind of went to the side because of priorities, of course, family priorities, and it just seemed like a challenge to get back into. And I decided, well, I needed to do something to spice it up. And I thought, well, I can learn how to do videos. I'll add them to my blog, have a channel. It's a win-win thing. Other than the win-win part is for me, because I will learn how to do editing, and then I can take all these videos I have taken of the grandson and trips and other videos I've taken over the years, and learn how to make something pleasing and memorable for us to keep. So that's really my main goal, and this is just the platform to do that, to learn how to do that. So bear with me. I'm sorry I'm making you my guinea pigs, but bear with me. I hope this all works out just fine, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I will. I have never been one, though, to be comfortable in front of a camera. So this is a big challenge, especially speaking. I'm not a quiet, shy person. I do know I have issues with speech, and so it's a challenge. I'm all for a challenge. I hope it's okay with you also. I will do my best to make it an enjoyable time for you. And that's also Bob back there. But what is it with cats and quilts? They just have a thing. You lay a quilt down somewhere, and if you have a cat, it just appears out of nowhere. There it is. It's amazing. But anyway, that's Bob. I used to have another cat, but Petey passed away in May. We had him for 14 years. Big cat. Best beside the point. Anyway, so on with the process here. Also, to let you know, like I said, I'm not too comfortable with this part of it all, but I hope this will become more and more easier as time goes on. But my goal was to do more of a vlog-like video where we go around and we are in different places of the home, outside, demonstrating cooking, gardening, instead of just sitting here you looking at my mug the whole time. So but anyway, that's my goal. We'll see how that goes, how it evolves. I'm just glad you're here. I hope you stick it out to the end. I do want to show you what I finished and a couple of works I have right now. It's nowhere near what I have started. If you're a quilter, and if you're like most quilters or knitters, you have projects that you just, oh, I gotta start that. I either gotta cut it out and get it ready, or collect the fabric, or cast on, and you know the drill. Well, I have lots of those, but I'm gonna spare you and just show you a couple. And as these go on, I will probably end up showing you more than you probably want to. But anyway, behind me is my last finished project, quilt. I had sewn this top together 3 years ago. It was a pattern I had seen on Pinterest or somewhere online. Fell in love with it. The pattern is a storm at sea block, but the way the woman who designed it said it made it look like an American flag, and I thought that was the greatest thing. Anyway, I could not find the pattern. I tracked down the lady who did design it. She's a woman in Texas. I asked her, well, actually I emailed her, but I emailed her and asked her if she had a pattern, and she said no, that her goal was to make a pattern, just hadn't done it yet. And I said, okay, is it okay if I copy what you've done? And she said, sure. I mean, I'm not selling it. It's just for personal use. I just liked it and I wanted to make it. So I did, but then it sat as a top for 3 years now. And this 4th of July, I decided I had the time to quilt it. So I machine quilted this on my sit-down quilter that I have over here off to the side, which you can't see. It's a baby lock tiara too. I'm anywhere near a professional or even consider myself good. I'm still learning. I'm a hand quilter. Have been ever since the 80s, I suppose, is when I started quilting. And that's what Bob is sitting on here, is my latest hand quilting. I took some shots earlier, and seeing how Bob is on there, I probably have to slip him in, because I don't think, unless I pull him off, I can't get a closer shot of that. But anyway, this pattern is called Dancing Kitties. I found it in a magazine, at least 8 years ago, because it was before the boys were born. This was going to be a quilt for my first grandchild. Well, my first grandchild ended up being boys. So, as you can tell, little kitty cats in pink and purple dresses isn't quite a boy thing. So it got put aside. I decided, I'll work on it later. And that later came, and I've been quilting on it for the past couple weeks. So I've been working on that, and I will show you or slip in a video right here, or a few shots of what it is I've been doing. I also have another goal for this year, was to make a pair of socks every month. I've been cleaning out and organizing my yarn stash, and in the process I have found lots of skeins of yarn for socks, more than one a month. So I decided, well, that's what I'm going to do. And there's also quite a few knit-alongs for socks. And the one that I've been getting patterns from is one called Free Socks 2020. You can find it on Instagram. And each month she finds, it's a woman in Sweden, she finds free patterns, and you can download them, show your progress on Instagram or on her blog, and I've been having fun doing that. So this is the one I'm working on. This is June's pattern. I haven't, as you can tell, I haven't finished it yet, but that's okay. This one has gone by a little slow for some reason. It's an easy pattern, a fun pattern. It takes two colors, as you can tell, an easy color work. The inside is very clean because you're alternating the rows between colors. So I like that. It's very nice. I'm using Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the color Cork in white. And it's working up just beautifully. I'm enjoying it. In the past months, I've been able to finish a pair within the month, but I've been working on a few other things, so it's going a little bit slower this month. Then my other work in progress that I want to share is what I have on the loom. It started out by last Christmas. I had made these cows for my girls. All of the girls, well, two of the girls said, "No problem, Mom. I like those. Those are pretty." And they're like, oh, they feel like a rabbit. Oh my gosh, they're so nice. So anyway, but I had one daughter that said, "Oh, I won't wear that." And I thanked her for her honesty, because, you know, we put time and effort into our knitting, and we'd like it to be appreciated and used. So I appreciated that. So I thought, she felt like, well, I would like to have a pillow made of that yarn. That would be such a soft pillow. And I said, okay. But I decided I wasn't going to knit it due to the fact that it took almost 2 skeins just to do this cowl, which meant it would be a very small pillow. And I do have 2 skeins in the color pink, which is what she likes. So I decided, well, I will try to see if I can weave it up. Just because this yarn by Lion Brand has a cloth edge to it with the fibers on one side. And sometimes when you're weaving, you have no control when you're using specialty yarns, or I'm not sure what you call these types of yarns, novelty yarns. you really have no control over what you're going to see as it's being woven up. Sometimes you would see different parts of the yarn. So I went ahead and warped up my Cricut with some baby yarn, which is acrylic and very thin and strong. I knew it would take the pressure of the movement of the heddle and such, and the pulling. So that's worked out fine. You can't see it. In fact, I'll show you. So as you can see, as I've been weaving it up, it has created a beautiful fake fur-like fabric. I mean, this is working out so much better than I anticipated. So my sample here, my experiment sample here, I'm going to end up making into a cowl. I'll just sew it up once I'm done weaving the fabric. And then I will go ahead and warp up my larger loom to make the pillow fabric. I am really happy with the way that it's working out. So that is what I have to share right now. I hope you come back. I hope you will join me again. And thank you so much. Bye.